Some people think that 2018 is going to be a year of decision where the administration might choose to use military force to try to deal with the North Korean nuclear problem. I think that's a possibility, but I think the greater probability is that we'll see a continuation of the sanctions effort, more pressure by President Trump on Xi Jinping for China to do more to restrict Chinese trade with North Korea. And I think the administration is still looking for an opening towards negotiations because the risks of a war are so great of developing an even greater war in the Korean Peninsula. I think the administration will be very sensitive about that, and probably more of the same in 2018 from what we've seen the past year.
China overnight denied, in a report that Reuters published, China overnight denying that it is doing any sort of sanctions or oil sales with North Korea that would go against those UN sanctions. Do you think that China at this point is being fully compliant with those economic sanctions?
I think that does bear watching because the Chinese in the past have had a record of announcing that they're taking actions in conformity with the UN, but then not doing it. And so that's what the Trump administration has to do. And I think for the president, particularly with Xi Jinping, keep the Chinese focused on what they have said they're going to do, have them do it, but also ask the Chinese to do more, because it's not in the interest of China to see this terrible problem on the North Korean peninsula heat up. I would also say this. Secretary Tillerson wrote an op-ed in the New York Times this morning talking about the administration's accomplishments. He hinted that the administration might be more aggressive against China in general on intellectual property rights and other trade disputes. The administration held off in 2017, didn't want to pressure China on trade because they needed China's help on North Korea. That may change in the next few months, and so that bears watching as well.
Some think that may change in the next few weeks because you have deadlines looming on potential tariffs on steel, on solar panels, on washing machines, and the national security strategy seemed to be pointing a finger jointly at China and at Russia. How do you think that plays out economically?
Oh, I think it's going to be one of the most important early determinants in January, February of where the administration is going. We are seeing a lot more talk from the administration about the need to get tough with China on trade. Frankly, it's deserved because the Chinese, as you well know, have been ripping off the intellectual property of a lot of American companies, not conforming to WTO standards. That may have, though, a price because the Chinese may then back away from directly helping the United States on North Korea. So keeping those two in balance, stopping or at least slowing the North Koreans down on the nuclear front, but also being tougher on trade, that's going to be difficult for this administration.
Ambassador, I wanted to ask you about the Olympics. Andrew's going there to cover it for CNBC. Without any disrespect, I just love the name Rocket Man, so I'm going to call him Rocket Man. I just thought that was brilliant marketing. But he likes to showcase, and the Olympics are a global opportunity to do that. What are the chances Andrew's not coming back from the Olympics?
Ooh. I think the chances are very high that Andrew's going to go there and enjoy the Olympics and come back.
Thank you, Ambassador.
You know, I just thought I should offer that as an end-of-the-year prediction, Andrew.
My family appreciates your answer.
Ambassador, go ahead.
Go ahead.
I was just going to say, I think that it might look like a tempting target for the North Korean leadership of Kim Jong-un. I doubt it, however. This is an event that in a way is going to unite a lot of Koreans. And the North Koreans are going to take, I think, the people of North Korea some pride in this as well. I doubt that the North Korean regime is going to use this to make a demonstration, some kind of military demonstration.
Ambassador, the State Department maintains that there's still an avenue for diplomacy. Now the Kremlin wants to broker talks. If you're Tillerson, what do you do?
Oh, I think the administration, I think both Secretary Tillerson and Secretary Mattis have been pointing towards negotiations. Secretary Tillerson has to be careful. He leaned forward early in December about the need for negotiations. The White House walked him back. But I do think the administration understands if we launch a preventive war against North Korea, there's no assurance that we'll be able to take out North Korea's existing nuclear force. It could lead to a much broader conflict. There are 30 million civilians living south of the demilitarized zone, 30,000 American troops. I think they're going to look for a diplomatic opening once these sanctions have taken hold. And Secretary Tillerson said this morning that he thinks they've dried up 90% of North Korea's hard currency. That may be, I don't know about that number. I don't know how you confirm that number, but I think they have made progress, and that's why I don't think we're going to see the use of military force in 2018.
Hey there, thanks for checking out CNBC on YouTube. Be sure to subscribe to stay up to date on all of the day's biggest stories. You can also click on any of the videos around me to watch the latest from CNBC. Thanks for watching.